Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. You guys come on in, come on in. I know it's a Friday night, and I know that you guys got better things that you might want to do. But as always, I'm going to show up and deliver some good information, especially regarding our 7-day fruit and salad challenge that we're on. So come on in, come on in. I got some tools right next to me. I got a few other things that I definitely want to go over. That way we could just continue to stay on course with everything that we're doing. And most importantly, just continue to learn, continue to grow in this area to gain better control of our blood pressure and improve our overall health. So before we get started, and while we're waiting for more people to come in, I always want to say thank you to everyone that's been actively participating in the challenge. We've been seeing wonderful results. Just continue to push forward, continue with the lifestyle changes, continue to apply this strategy even after this challenge is over. Just continue to hammer away and be consistent in this area, because again, when it comes down to high blood pressure, this is just one channel that needs to be just dialed in. We just have to tap into this one area of nutrition. So we have to understand that it's other pathways that can potentially be causing blood pressure issues, but you must be willing to go down the road to understanding each and every one to make sure that it's not something that's triggering or fueling your problem. So another thing, today I was really excited because I put up the book. I released it. I told you guys about this the last couple of days, but I put the link up for the book, The High Blood Pressure Breakdown. I completed it a few days ago. I finally got the link up, and I got the hard copy already set and done for you guys to actually have. The High Blood Pressure Breakdown, again, is filled with all of the tactics and strategies that I go over, that I preach about from A to Z to help you better understand your blood pressure. We're talking about everything from your stress levels, your nutritional habits, your sleeping habits, getting more sunlight, hydration, all those things that are critical to managing your overall health and your blood pressure. The High Blood Pressure Breakdown breaks all those things down and help you get a grasp of it, because one thing about it, the more you understand a condition, the better you're going to be able to handle it and overcome it. And it's all about the tactics and strategies that you apply to do so, because we have to understand as well is that it's not about what you can take for your blood pressure, because this is a lifestyle condition. It's all about what you can do. And the High Blood Pressure Breakdown has all of those different strategies to help you get better control of this issue and continue to move forward to get better. So the book, I've released it. I have a link up there for you guys if you're looking and you're interested in purchasing it. I have a link right here. You might see it there, or you might see it on your bottom part. I'm not sure where it shows up at, but I have the link for the High Blood Pressure Breakdown. It's officially been released, and it's a tool for you guys to continue to use and to understand and maneuver through. So I'll touch on this a little bit further as we continue going. But most importantly, it's about what we're focusing on now, the 7-day fruit and salad challenge. Today is day 5. And for those of us that have our ebooks, I usually keep my second device available. That way I can just go through it and flip through. But for those of you that have your device, you can pull it up. And I just want to touch on a few things, because we've already read through the whole book. But now I just want to make sure I touch on a few things to make sure we can lock in this information and just continue to move forward and continue to take those steps forward to just continue to see the results and progress. Because one thing about it, you can easily start to do things to improve your blood pressure, but you want to make sure that you're consistent with these tactics and strategies. That way you're not riding a roller coaster ride. One day your blood pressure is good, the next day it looks all crazy. And you don't want to ride a seesaw when it comes down to this type of issue, because that shows that you don't have the control. So we're going to tie a few things in together and just continue to move forward. And I'm going to talk about the next challenge that we're having coming up in the following week. So one of the main things that you should have taken from the 7-day fruit and salad challenge is that you need to continuously apply the strategy of eating more whole foods. It's as simple as that. No matter what type of strategy or approach you're taking for your blood pressure, eating more whole foods should be the core. It should be your core value. you must have whole foods in your diet. Reason being, whole foods provide you with the fiber, the water, the vitamins, the minerals, the enzymes, and everything that your body needs to function at its highest level. If you're not eating whole foods, you're not going to get the nutrients that your body needs for its overall health, and this is going to end up contributing more to the blood pressure issues that you're experiencing. Now, when it comes down to the vitamins and minerals that are essential for regulating blood pressure, we spoke about those through the we spoke about those throughout this week in the group. We talked about the potassium, the magnesium, the sodium, the calcium, and the zinc. All of those 5 that are critical when it comes down to managing the blood pressure. And also vitamin D and the antioxidants and all those things are vital as well. But those 5 are key contributors. And the better you understand the food groups that are going to provide you with those nutrients, the easier it will be to continue to get control and build up your nutritional storages. That way your body doesn't have any issues regulating the blood pressure. And again, this is just one tip of the iceberg when it comes to blood pressure. Everybody's blood pressure issue isn't related to a nutritional deficiency, even though a lot of them are. But understanding that you must incorporate whole foods to provide your body with the things that it needs. Number 2, the second takeaway that you should have gotten from this is processed foods. No processed foods. If you're dealing with a blood pressure issue, processed foods should not be on your radar. Nowhere near. Not any barbecue sauce, ketchup, mustard, frozen foods, canned foods, you name it. If it's processed, it shouldn't be on your radar, mainly because of the high sodium content that's in there. Sodium is one of those things that has a direct impact on your blood pressure. Not all people have a sodium sensitivity, but for a lot of cases with high blood pressure, you got to get your sodium in check to better understand what's going on. So eliminating the excess amount of sodium from your diet is definitely going to be a key part. The salt shaker is not necessarily your worst enemy, but the processed foods definitely are. But the best route to go forward will be to greatly eliminate the excess sodium, no matter where it's coming from, whether it's from the salt shaker or from the processed foods. Eliminating that sodium will bring you more balance to the other minerals in the body, because again, the sodium and potassium, they work together with regulating blood pressure. If your potassium is low because you're not eating enough whole foods, and your sodium levels are high because you're eating more processed foods, this is going to give you a higher blood pressure, and this is going to continue to fuel the problem. So bring those sodium levels down by decreasing the amount of processed foods you're eating, and increase those potassium levels by eating more whole foods, and this is going to help bring balance back to that blood pressure, and you're going to start to see the numbers that you're wanting to see. So those are 2 of the biggest takeaways: more whole foods, eliminate the excess amount of sodium, and understanding where it's coming from. Those are going to be 2 big takeaways that come from this. So if you guys have any questions, also feel free to drop them in the chat. That way, when I get to the question and answer section, I'll have some questions already ready for me right then and there. But again, eating more whole foods, eliminating the processed foods, that's going to be the big part of it. And as we've seen through many of the different updates throughout the group, we've seen some very, very good numbers. We've seen some people that got some small improvements, and we've seen some people that just didn't get any improvement at all. So this is a testament to help you understand. Well, this is a testament to help guide you, to let you know that it's sometimes it takes more work. And the reason being is because every blood pressure issue isn't the same. So the better you understand that, okay, I need to do more work on my I need to do more work for myself to get to the root cause of this problem. This will help keep you motivated when it comes down to just getting to the root cause. Because again, it might not just be the mineral deficiency. It may be you need to do more elimination. You may need to just you may need to cleanse your body a little bit more to help open up these different pathways. And that's what our next challenge is going to be about. It's pretty much like, it's going to be like an elimination confrontation, talking about the different avenues of elimination, understanding how to properly allow your body to do so safely, and just better getting a grasp of like the food items that you should completely eliminate from your diet to help when it comes down to your regulating your blood pressure. Because again, sodium is just one thing. It's many other things that go against the grain when it comes down to your overall blood pressure. Sodium is just one thing that's just directly connected. And the better you understand all the other things, now you can have that aha moment, like, wow, you know what? this is something I have a habit of doing, or this is something that, could be contributing to my problem. And this will allow you to continue to, just dot your I's, cross your T's, and move forward through the blood pressure problem. So next week is going to be that elimination confrontation. We're going to talk about those things in depthly. I'm going to also put together an ebook for that. That way you can have your materials, be able to just dissect it, understand it, and continue to educate yourself throughout this process. Because again, the more you know about what you're dealing with, the better you're going to be able to handle it. And that goes for any problem. The better you understand the problem, the quicker you'll get to the solution and be done with it. And now you have a foundation where you're better able to make sure that this problem doesn't come back. Because a lot of times we can do something seemingly correct our blood pressure issue, but there's plenty more work to do, and we don't have the right structure in place to help us continue to build our bodies up and, just strengthen ourselves overall and eventually work ourselves off of the pharmaceutical medications. Because again, there's no one food that you could just consume and boom, your blood pressure fixed. That's not the case at all. It's about building your body up and allowing it to become resilient to the lifestyle that you're living, and just make sure that it's strong enough just to do the things that it needs to do. So next week's challenge is going to be all about elimination. And that's part of the reason I got my computer right here as well. Because what I want to do, I want to show you guys a video. The reason I got my computer here is because technically, to do this the right way, I should have had everything in the Zoom so everyone could get the broad picture of what's actually going on. But since I didn't have the time to put us all in a Zoom class and all those other things, I got it on my computer. I'm going to bring my camera screen here, and I'm going to flip it around that way. That way you can kind of see this video as clear as possible, and I'm going to kind of talk us through what's actually going on there. And before I even get into this video, I want to talk about what's actually going to take place, because it can get a little bit squeamish. This is an elimination video. This is talking about cleansing. This is about, removing any parasites and, things that can be inside of us that can be contributing to different issues that we're dealing with. And so just a warning before I even get to it, this is a triggering video. It's not the most wholesome thing that you might want to see. If you kind of squeamish and don't like seeing certain things, I advise you to just click off right now and come back in about 10 minutes, or catch the next video, because it is a little squeamish, it is a little gross, but most importantly, it's a tool to help you understand what's going on internally. Because the better you understand what's happening, the more likely you're going to actually do something about it and correct it. Now, with this video, this is not everybody's problem. But for myself, this was something that I had to deal with. And that's why I want to be very transparent with you guys, because although I'm not someone that talks about taking herbs and supplements and things like that, I do understand that at one point I had to go through a cleansing cycle to better understand and get a better connection with my body. So just to make sure I'm transparent with you guys, I want to show and present this to you all. That way, if any one of you feel that, okay, I think I might need to go through something like this to help myself, you'll also have the opportunity to do so. So this is just me being transparent to help you guys see and better understand this process. I'm going to show you the video right now. So it's funny though. But for any of you that are squeamish, right now is the time to turn away, and I'll continue to talk you through it, and we could go from there. So I'm going to put this video here. I'm going to do a little rinky-dink transfer right now. I'm going to bring my camera here, and I'm going to turn it around as soon as I figure out where the button is. Oh, there we go. Boom. I'm going to turn it around, and wait, why's the light on? Well, the light probably won't come off, but I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to show you where we're at. So again, if you guys are squeamish, this is the time to turn away. Here we go. So I'm going to talk through the video, and that way you don't have to worry about the volume. But as you can see, I'm standing over my toilet right now, and I'm dissecting pretty much my poop, my stool. I'm collecting the stool sample, and I'm currently going through a cleansing process. This was a colon and parasite cleanse that I was doing. As you can see, I got no hair on my head, and this was about 2.5, 3 years ago. And I'm sitting over the toilet. I'm breaking down this stool sample. I got my gloves on, and I'm just analyzing what was going on. At this point, you know, I was about 2 days into this cleansing cycle, and I noticed some abnormalities inside of my stool. So like any guy that's trying to learn more about himself and get a better understanding, I got to the toilet bowl, I got some gloves, and I started breaking everything down. And as you can see, as we're going through the process here, I'm gonna pause it quickly for you. These are parasites. These are parasites that was inside of my stool that I was able to remove by doing a colon and parasite cleanse. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit through this whole process so you can understand exactly how we got here. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. That way, as I get to the question section, I could go ahead and answer them for you. But these are parasites. They're different type of worms. I think these were round worms they were hookworms that were inside of my stool. And there was easily a couple dozen of them that was there. So at this point in my journey, I was about 214 pounds or so. I was getting some results, but I had reached a plateau, and I decided to put together this cleanse to just kind of figure out what was going on, because I felt like something was stopping me from progressing and getting over this hump. So I put together this cleansing cycle. It was a colon and parasite cleanse. It was a gallbladder and liver flush, along with the blood cleanse, a cleansing cycle to help me work my way through this process. For about 2 years before this actual event, I was studying herbal medicine. I went through a couple courses and classes, so I already had the background of what herbs and things I needed to use to stimulate this cycle. So as I was stagnant in my results, I decided to do a colon parasite cleanse. And I did this to see what was going on. And after the first day of cleansing, I noticed that my stool was a different color. The majority of it was solid and a regular brown color, but a part of it was really, really gray and dark. And I noticed immediately that it wasn't normal. But I accidentally flushed the toilet and I lost it. It went down the drain. And I was like, whoa, that was different. I need to make sure that next time this happens, I'm able to break it down and see it so I can understand what was going on. So the following day on my next bowel movement, I made sure that I didn't flush the toilet. And behold, I saw this same dehydrated fecal matter that was just like on the side of my regular stool, and I decided that I was going to open it up to figure out exactly why it looked that way and what was going on inside of it. So as I picked it up with my gloves on and started to break it down, behold, I started to see a lot of different parasites that were pulled out from that were pulled out of my colon. And now, mind you, they were dead. They wasn't alive and squiggling around and stuff like that, because the colon cleanse is designed to actually poison them, kill them, break them up. That way, they just come out normally. But as I saw them, I decided to pull them out and just analyze them, because one, this was a product that I sold to other people, and I really just wanted to get a better grasp and understanding. Now, I don't recommend that you go in the toilet and pull out your stool or look at your parasites. I would never recommend that. But for me, being in the position that I was in, I knew that I wanted to document the journey for myself. That way, as I continue to educate other people about these types of strategies, they can know what to expect throughout this type of process. So as I'm over the toilet bowl, I pull out my stool, I'm breaking it down, I see the parasites, I'm gonna go ahead and hit play again. You can see that these are long, stringy parasites that were all stuck inside of this dehydrated fecal matter, inside of my stool, inside of my colon. And these parasites, what they do is basically they need to feed as well. So when you're eating your food, your health promoting food, your fresh fruits, your fresh vegetables, and all these good foods and bad foods, these parasites are stealing the nutrients that are needed for your body to function at its highest level. So if you're someone that's not possibly getting any type of results in certain areas, this could potentially be something that you're dealing with. Not saying that it might necessarily be a parasite issue, but this can be something that's preventing you from properly absorbing the nutrients that you need for your body to function the way that it needs to. And simply doing some type of parasite and colon cleanse can allow for you to cleanse your body out, get that colon cleansed. That way the body can properly absorb the different vitamins and minerals and nutrients and enzymes that it needs to, and start clicking the way that it should be. So I'm gonna go ahead and click play, but as you can see, there were a lot of them. And this is just a small amount from the first stretch that I pulled out. And mind you, I'm the type, I grew up as a chef. And for the 12 years before this, I pretty much traveled around the country eating any and everything. I was a big time sushi person. I ate tons of different types of steaks. My favorite way to have it cooked was medium rare. Like I ate burgers, everything I ate many different ways from many different places. I didn't care what I ate. So understanding, if you're the type of person that just consumes pretty much anything and everything and don't really care what it is, this is something that you should be mindful of, because there's many different ways to get parasites. And once they're in the system, if you don't properly remove them, they're going to be there until it's time for them to go. Now, also, parasites don't just come from the foods that you're consuming. They can also come from simply shaking hands with somebody or walking barefoot somewhere. So understanding that parasites don't just come from food, but understanding that if they're there, you have to understand how to actually get them out and remove them from your system. So the colon and parasite cleanse was the first thing that I did when it came down to getting control of this particular area. And I'm gonna put my phone back up here so I can, drop my computer, Jesus Christ. So I'm gonna put my phone back up here. But the colon and parasite cleanse was step one that I did when it came down, when it came down to the cleansing cycle. So when you're doing a proper cleansing cycle, it needs to be just that, a cycle. You don't want to just do these random cleanses to try to help yourself in these type of areas, because a lot of times you would cause more harm than good. So when it's the cleansing cycle, the first thing you want to do a colon cleanse. You want to cleanse your colon out, because everything has to pass through this alimentary canal in order to be eliminated properly by the body. But if you don't cleanse the colon and say you do some other type of cleanse, things can just get lodged up in the colon and just be there, just sitting and marinating until you do the proper cleanse to get it out. So you cleanse the colon first, and that's pretty much like doing, that's like the plumber coming in and cleaning out your sewer and making sure that anything that goes down can flow right out to where it needs to be. So a colon cleanse is always going to be step one. And step two is going to be the liver and gallbladder cleanse. Liver and gallbladder flush, because a lot of times in our gallbladder we can build up gallstones, which is just like cholesterol that just builds up over time from consuming a lot of animal-based products and things like that, and they can build up and they eventually clog up the ducts where the bowel needs to come out to help break down the foods that you're consuming and things like that. But unfortunately, we don't get into the cleansing cycle, and these gallstones just build up. I have another video with the gallstones, but I think that might be a little bit too much for one night, because again, it's a little gross. And the gallstone videos, it shows you these big chunks of cholesterol that comes out of the gallbladder once you properly cleanse the gallbladder and do the liver flush and things like that. And what happens is, when you do these type of cleanses, it allows for your pathways of elimination to just be rejuvenated, so your body starts functioning at a higher level. The first thing that I noticed from this process was I lost 6 pounds right out of the gate. Like, boom, it just started clicking. 6 pounds in 3 days, and that was a big turnaround. I didn't even gain that weight back after that. So, that showed me that, okay, boom, once I did this, my body was able to step on the gas. And as I continued through this whole cleansing cycle, I continued to see my body level up in different areas. Now, the thing about the cleansing cycle is that, again, it goes in cycles. You don't do this let me rephrase that. The first colon and parasite cleanse, it usually lasts about 14 days, give or take, depending on the individual. For the person that usually goes less than 14 days, their first sign is typically like they usually get some type of stomach cramps that says, okay, that's enough. There's nothing else going on. I don't need to take anymore, because one of the herbs that is used during this process is designed to basically massage the intestines and massage the intestines to loosen up anything that's stuck up on the intestines and allow for the body to properly excrete it. So the first 14 days is usually dedicated to the colon and parasite cleanse. After you move from the colon and parasite cleanse, the next 7 days is directly for the liver and gallbladder. And this is a really simple process that a person can do. I'm not going to get too deep into it because, again, it can lead to a whole nother conversation. But it's a simple process. Apple juice, olive oil, and basically you consume enough apple juice throughout this process, and you consume a certain amount of olive oil, and basically the apple juice softens up the cholesterol, gallstones, to where they're able to pass through the bile ducts, and the olive oil basically helps just lubricate everything so it can pass through smoothly. So understanding that, 14 days, boom, you're in the colon parasite area. The next 7 days, liver, gallbladder. Now, the thing about the liver and gallbladder is that ideally you want to do this multiple times, because what happens is when you're doing a liver and gallbladder cleanse, things start to move around, and sometimes you may not get everything out of the way. And let's say if you move some stuff around, let's say you got a lot of gallstones that are moving around, and you stop the cleanse, what happens is the ones that went out, they're gone. But the other ones that are still there, now they might have moved down and moved in place, and they're blocking the duct still. So sometimes for some individual, it may take you to have to do this 2 or 3 times. And you don't have to do it back to back, but this cycle should continue over the course of a few weeks. That way you're allowing your body to properly remove all those things that are there. And one way that you can easily know is just simply by the amount of gallstones that you actually push out of your system during that first cycle. When I did it, I really thought that when I did it, I saw a whole lot of gallstones, but I thought I would see more, mainly because of the previous drinking habits that I had, the type of diet that I was consuming. I thought I would see a whole lot more compared to my partner at the time, where she didn't see she saw more than me. So I thought it would be the other way around. So, just going through the process, understanding the cycle is going to allow you to, understand how to move through this cleansing aspect. But one of the main benefits I got from this process was just my digestion improved, my elimination functions improved, and my energy levels definitely continued to rise. And as I continued with working on my overall health, I started to see those little differences just continue to add up. And lastly is going to be the blood cleanse, which is basically like cleansing the blood, helping with the kidneys, allowing for them to, just filter the blood at a higher level. And this is just a nice little process. It's actually one of the simpler ones, but the most important part is making sure that you're going through the process. That way you can allow for the body to be in a cycle of properly eliminating and getting rid of any built up toxins that are there. So this cleansing cycle is something that's it's not for everybody. As simple as that. Everybody don't necessarily need it. Those individuals that are dealing with that stubborn belly fat, you just got this extra weight in the midsection for seemingly no apparent reason, because it's there for a reason. But you have this extra weight in your midsection, or you're struggling in this area, or if for some reason you're just not getting over this plateau with weight loss and things like that, this can be something that just helps you connect the dots through certain things. Because again, this is a stimulation that's occurring inside of the body. By all means, you don't want to forcefully stimulate your body consistently for whatever particular reason. But for some people, it may come to the point where you might need that boost to help get you over the edge in order to just continue to move forward. Because outside of doing this type of cleanse, the other best way to get these type of results is by going through an extended fast. It's as simple as that. You either do some type of herbal stimulation to kind of shortcut the process and kill the parasites and flush them out, or you go through a fasting process and you starve them out. And that's going to be a more intensive process, even though the results will be a lot much bigger on a grander scale for your overall health. But most people don't have the time to sit down and do an extended fast because, they got life and they got other things that they also need to deal with. So understanding where you fit in with this process is going to be very, very important. So throughout the week, next week, I'll go over the gallbladder and liver cleanse. That way you can also see just how these gallstones look, because I'm looking for a quarter. I used a quarter, and this was my unit of measurement next to the gallstones. And some of those gallstones were like a quarter of the size of a quarter that came from out of my gallbladder, So understanding that we have cholesterol buildup in different areas like that can ultimately affect how the body functions. And for some of us, if we have a diet that's high in animal-based products and we're dealing with these chronic issues, we might need to get that out of there. You know what I'm saying? And again, for those of you that have been following me for some time, you know that I'm anti-herb. I'm not big on taking herbal supplements or any type of stimulants unless there's a cause for it. Because again, herbs they cause a certain type of stimulation in the body. And most of the times when people consume them, they overuse them, they abuse them, and they become a crutch for them. So understanding that if you're using the herbs to create this type of stimulation to get this type of reaction, you don't want to consistently rely on this type of process, because you're only crutching yourself and you're not going to allow your body to function at the level that it needs to function at in order to properly eliminate without the herbal stimulations. Because think of it, I mentioned this a few weeks ago when we were talking. If you're constipated and you can't go to the bathroom, let's say you're going to the bathroom once or twice a week. If you're constipated like that, taking a laxative or taking some castor oil or forcefully stimulating your colon to eliminate itself, this is not going to solve your problem. Yes, you might go to the bathroom and have the best bowel movement you had all month, but I can guarantee you this constipation is going to come back, because all you're doing is forcing your colon to work when it actually needs to rest and build up its vital energies in order to function at the highest level that it's able to. So understanding, taking that laxative is basically like grabbing your colon and shaking it up and forcing it to do something that it really don't want to do right now. Because you technically didn't earn that bowel movement from eating the proper foods and hydrating your body so it can do it on its own. You took the supplement, you forced it to work, it eliminated and removed what was there, and now it's ultimately going to be more exhausted than it was before. And the next time, it get built up, this process is going to be worse and worse and worse, to ultimately some type of chronic issue develops. And now you're going to have to find some type of over-the-counter medication or prescription just to help you go to the bathroom, which is going to lead to a whole bigger problem, because toxemia is going to set in. And when toxemia sets in, this creates the playing field for disease to manifest. And nobody wants that to happen. So understanding that if you're dealing with certain type of issues, relying on these type of supplements to get you by is not going to solve your problem. It's all about getting to the root cause of it, and starting with lifestyle changes is going to be the best way. Analyzing your diet. Make sure you're not eating crap that's going to back you up and cause you to have these type of issues. Eat more foods that's high in fiber. Make sure you're getting the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that your body needs so it can increase its vital energies in order to eliminate properly. Again, if you're not having a bowel movement, it's because you haven't earned one. You have to earn a bowel movement by eating the foods that produce a bowel movement. So understand, if you ain't getting it, it's because you didn't earn it. And the worst thing you could do is force yourself to do it. So understanding that, you don't want to be dependent on outside supplements. You want to give your body what it needs so it can improve its vital functions and continue to do what it needs without the outside stimulation. So next week is going to be solely focused on the elimination efforts of the body, because if the better you understand how this works, the better you understand the foods to stay away from as a whole when it comes down to dealing with blood pressure issues, the better you're going to be able to get to the root cause of the problem and ultimately reach the goal of reducing your dependence on pharmaceutical medications or completely getting off of them. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. As I'm waiting for those questions to pop up, or rather searching for them to pop up, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Healthy Eating Active Living t-shirts, especially the one I got going on. For those of you that purchased a t-shirt to support the group and to support the future events and endeavors that I have going on, I greatly appreciate you all. You can purchase the t-shirts on the website. You can see it inside of the group. The shirts are $24.99. We got all sizes from small to 4X. I greatly appreciate anyone that already have one. If you haven't gotten one yet, $24.99, buy a t-shirt. Support the cause, support yourself, because most importantly, this shows what you stand for. When you wear this shirt, you represent healthy eating and active living. And wearing this shirt, you can't be going to McDonald's or going to Chick-fil-A and all those things, because you're standing on something. You're standing on health. You're standing on making sure you're eating nutritious foods. You're making sure that you're living an active lifestyle. So, you know, this is just a symbol of support when it comes to your supporting yourself, along with supporting your community or helping you get better and moving in the right direction. So if you guys have any questions, I'm searching through, I'm looking for them. Last time the question took forever to pop up, but I'm scrolling around. They're going to pop up sooner or later, hopefully. And here we go, right there. Do fruits and vegetables help remove parasites from the body? Certain ones can, but most of the time it's gonna require different type of intervention. Reason being, if you want to try to eliminate certain parasites through fruits and vegetables, it's gonna call for you to do like more of a raw diet and no cooked foods whatsoever. You're eating just fresh raw foods and a combination of them, and you're allowing for your body to go through this whole process. Because one thing about it, the more health promoting foods that you consume, the more the bad bacteria and parasites start to die out, because they're really attracted to those unhealthier things that you're consuming. If you're someone that gets all these cravings for sugary foods, salty foods, oily foods, you know, these are all not only is a mindset things, but your gut and your mindset is directly connected. And what happens is you get these cravings because these parasites are looking for what they're used to, and it triggers, you know, this effect. And pretty much understanding that, you know, when you're going through this process, cleansing and eliminating in these different areas is going to help accelerate you along this different pathways. So fruits and vegetables can help, but going on this is a longer approach, such as a raw diet, that's going to allow for you to create that balance that you need when it comes down to cleansing and moving forward. Any other questions, feel free to drop them in. I think Mr. Chambers, how's my mother and her blood pressure? She's doing very, very well. The last time we checked, she was 135 over, I don't make me lie to you, I think we're still a little bit over 90, but that's a damn great improvement from the 209 over 110 or wherever she was previously. And she's been maintaining that for the last 2 or 3 days. She broke her fast at 14 days, and she's been on a raw diet since then, and just fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. And she wanted to transition to a juice cleanse, but she's really waiting on me to make sure I structure it for her, because I wanted to make sure, you know, her urine analysis and some other stuff was the way I wanted it, a whole bunch of other things. But she's basically doing very, very well. Her energy levels have skyrocketed. She lost, she's at 22 pounds. She lost 22 pounds. When she broke her fast, it was more like 18, 19, but her weight is continuing to drop. And I need to post those before and after pictures. Thank you for dropping that question, because her weight is continuing to drop, and she's feeling a lot more vibrant. I had to make her go to sleep last night because she was just up working and doing some other stuff. I'm like, hey, lights out. You know, you here, your guest in the house. You know, time to shut it down, because I need you in sync with everything else that's going. Because again, lifestyle is much more than just cleansing and fasting. How you sleep, how you eat, how you manage your stress levels, your exercise, getting more sunlight, your relationships, all those things are all tied in. So I'm making sure that she gets every bit of it while she's here. That way, as she continues to live her life, it's in a more health promoting lifestyle. But she's doing very well. I'll make sure I post an update, because you guys definitely deserve an update, because a lot of you are definitely invested in trying to see her journey. So I'll make sure I put that update up for you as soon as possible. That way you guys can continue getting that information that you need. What info do you have about hemorrhoids? Oh, that's a great question. When it comes down to hemorrhoids, the first place you really want to start is with your dietary consumption. But hemorrhoids are not always related to the foods that you're consuming. Just like, pregnant women get hemorrhoids as well. Like, it can be many different things, but you really want to analyze your lifestyle and understanding, what's going on in your life at that particular moment. Because for most people, it is dietary related. Other people, it could be some gut issues and things that are also coming along. And it could be a number of triggering things. But that's a broad question. But the main thing is, the better you understand your lifestyle before you're triggered, you'll get a grasp of what's going on, whether it's your stress levels, the food that you ate, it could be a number of things. So, that's a broad topic, but the best thing to do is reflect, look into yourself, and understand the things that are going on before this process. Now, if you're someone that has chronic hemorrhoids, you definitely have to do some cleansing, because this is an issue and your body is expressing itself in this type of fashion, and cleansing and allowing for your body to rebuild its nerve energy to function on this at a proper level is going to be most important. So it's a lot of little things that goes into play there, and it's a broad topic, but reflection into yourself is going to basically help you get to the root cause of this issue. More than anything. Is your blood pressure normal or below? Should we continue to take our meds? Great question, Miss Love Mima. I think I might have butchered that up. The simple answer to this is always take your medication. Your doctor puts you on medication for a reason. I don't know why he put you on medication, so I can never tell you to stop taking your medication. If your blood pressure is normal, that's a great thing. It's your job to make sure that you keep it normal. And understanding the different pathways of how to work your way off of the medication, it requires that you work directly with your doctor. Because again, your doctor puts you on the medications. He saw something in your chart, or she saw something in your chart that made them prescribe this particular pill for whatever reason. So understanding that you don't take yourself off of medication, because this can lead you into a world of trouble and a world of complications, because you may think your blood pressure looks good because you're doing one or two things, but this doesn't mean that your body has built up the control to properly manage it itself. That's why this is a cycle and a process that you have to go through. Simply eating more fruits and vegetables and getting some nutrients, it may bring your levels down and you see great numbers, but this doesn't mean control, because life changes, things happen. Your stress level goes up. Your job requires you to work more hours. You get less sleep. Relationships change. And with all these changes, your blood pressure will start to do these different type of things. So understanding that only your doctor can help you get off of the blood pressure medications. And as we continue through these challenges, we will get to the point of where we understand how to properly go through these processes. Because that's something that I definitely work with and help people understand, because we have to realize that we put our body through all these different things for X amount of years, eating unhealthy, stressing about different things, and we damaged our body so much. 7 days of eating fruits and vegetables don't fix that. You know what I'm saying? It might look good, but it doesn't fix that problem. So you must be willing to do the work. So the last question you should be having is how to get off of medication. You should be working on improving your lifestyle, eliminating those risk factors, and building your body up to where you no longer need the medication. And the only person that's going to be able to wean you off and pull those off is going to be your doctor. Now, if you're having conflict with your doctor about getting off the medication, this is a different problem, because you're advocating for yourself and what you're saying isn't aligning with what your doctor is saying. So now understanding how to, get a second opinion and find something that's more in alignment with you is going to be the next step. But further along in the challenge, we will be talking about getting off of the medication. But right now, this is the first door just been opened. There's a lot more work to do. None of us should be stopping taking medication for any particular reason. I don't care how great your blood pressure looks, because 7 days doesn't change anything. It's as simple as that. We have to continue through the pathway, build up the health promoting habits, build up our body, and then we can talk about getting off of the medication and moving forward from there. Do the t-shirts run true to size? They're unisex t-shirts, and they do run true to size, because this one is This is an extra large that I have on. I do prefer large, but this one I had for quite some time. It fits good, and I actually enjoy it pretty well. So they do run true to size. They're unisex t-shirts, and they work out pretty well. I've never had a bad t-shirt that I didn't really like. All of them really worked out pretty good. I bought this one in a large. I ended up losing a bunch of weight afterwards, and it's a little bit bigger on me, but the next ones that I did order, they're in larges, and I definitely enjoy those. If someone has sugar problems, could they do the same fruit and vegetable challenge? Yes, reason being because all sugar isn't created the same. Fruit sugars and things like that, they contain the fiber, water, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and everything else. And these are more complex carbs. With complex carbs, it changes the way that the body actually absorbs the sugar. Instead of spiking your sugar like bread or flour and sodas and things like that, the fiber, water, and all those other nutrients, it gives you a gradual rise, and your body is able to properly manage the sugar and bring the levels back down. And what ultimately happens is when you get this increase in glucose, you also getting the fiber, you're getting the vitamins and minerals that's going to help prime these cells up. And when these cells get primed up really well, they're going to be better able to absorb the glucose that is coming in from your next meal. So understanding that, all sugars aren't created the same. One thing I would say is there's certain fruits that you should probably avoid, like your watermelons and your pineapples and things like that. And your fresh berries are always going to be the best because they're going to cause less of an increase, and they're going to give you more antioxidants. They're going to give you a lot more of those, the antioxidants that help fight off those free radicals that's causing the blood vessel damage and producing more oxidative stress and things like that. So if you're dealing with sugar issues, stay closer to the berries if you're a little bit nervous about it, because the berries are going to always be the safe spot, and you don't have to worry about seeing any abnormalities, because what will happen, you will see your blood sugar come up, and then you will also see it come down really good. And then the next time it rises, it will not rise that high because the cells are better able to process the glucose, and it ultimately gets better and better. So don't be afraid of your blood sugar rising a little bit, because every time you eat anything, your blood sugar is going to rise. But understanding this rise, understanding the process, it'll allow you to better be able to just get a feel of this type of flow without being nervous about having any type of reaction and things like that. So it's a deeper conversation. One thing I would definitely suggest you do, DM me, and what I can do is I can send you some more information about diabetes and blood sugar issues. That way you could just kind of like have something to just hold on to help reaffirm what you're doing when it comes down to these type of lifestyle changes. Hi, sorry I joined a little late. Would you be providing information on what we should use for the colon cleanse and liver flush? Yes, I'm currently putting together that package to help you better understand this process, because when we do release the next challenge on Monday, I want you all to have an idea and understanding of what's happening. We're going to release the challenge next Monday. It's not going to start next Monday, but we're going to release it next Monday. That way you have another 7 days to move through the fruit and salad challenge, continuing to build on these habits and prepare yourself for the elimination confrontation. I don't want to force you guys into this arena or this atmosphere and you're not prepared. I want you to be able to get a grasp of this first thing that you're doing, the 7-day fruit and salad challenge. This is not just 7 days. Continue with this process. And then we're going to go ahead and put the elimination confrontation in there, and you're going to start pulling out those things that you don't need to have, those things that are triggering, and start working towards building on this process, because again, it's a journey. You don't just fix these problems in one day. And as you continue to improve the lifestyle, you're going to see your blood pressure consistently get better, and most importantly, you will gain more control and more understanding. So to answer your question, you will get the information that you need, and you'll have the opportunity to get the different things that you want for this process. I grow herbs like basil, rosemary, and oregano. Are they beneficial for lowering your blood pressure? Yeah, they're very beneficial in many different ways. Main thing is, just make sure that you're using them in the right way. Put them in a salad, put them on, season your foods with them and things like that. They're all going to they're all going to have their different benefits in many ways. But most importantly, as you're using them, making sure that you're eliminating the things that are consistently contributing to the problem as well. Because a lot of times when we have these different herbs like rosemary and basil and things like that, we like to make different type of oils with them and, different things like that. And understanding like how that connects and the effects it has with blood pressure, excuse me, it's one of those things. So we'll talk about that next week a little bit more. That way we can get a better grasp of those things. This is great. I'm trying to manage my blood pressure. I missed the beginning of the challenge. However, I really do want to join in. If I pay the fee now, can I join in? Greg, no need to pay the fee. The main thing I'll say is wait for the next challenge. The next challenge starts next week. That way, as you get in with next week, you'll be able to continue to absorb the information there. The best advice I'll give you right now, start adding more fruits and vegetables to your diet, and that way, in the form of fresh fruits and fresh salads. And that way, as we get into the next portion, you'll be able to just continue to pick up and go along as there. You can't currently get the ebook that goes with it, but somewhere down the line, I'll probably try to offer it up for everyone to be able to get if they need to. But right now, this challenge is closed out. You won't be able to get those materials, but get ready for the next one because everything is all in alignment with moving forward in the right direction. What makes my arms swell? I can't answer that one. That's it could be a number of things that happens with that. I have not consumed red meat or pork in over 35 years. My physician has suggested that this could factor negative health results for me. I can't see because of my shirt. For me, mainly low vitamin D and high blood pressure. Any suggestion about diet to get the nutrients I may be missing from not consuming meat? Number one is you're not missing any nutrients from not consuming meat. Most people think about they're going to be low on iron, they're going to be low on protein, they're going to be low on, all these different things. But understanding that when it comes to things like protein and, meat consumption, animal-based products consumption, we should, one of the first things you should understand is even though plants don't necessarily have proteins, fruits and vegetables don't have proteins, they have what's called amino acids. And when it comes down to amino acids, when you consume a variety of fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, you're going to get different types of amino acids that the body takes and build a complete protein. And when you get that complete protein, this is going to be the best complete protein that you're going to get, even if you factor in other animal-based products, because of the way that it's built, the way that it's functioning, the way that it's structured. When you eat animal-based products, let's say you eat a steak. Most people, when you're eating a steak, you're just eating a cut of meat, and this is not a whole food. You're just getting a cut of a piece of the whole animal, and you're not getting essentially what you need. And what happens is eating a variety of fresh whole foods, it's going to give you the abundance of nutrients and minerals to properly allow for your body to absorb and assimilate it to properly utilize it. So understanding that if you're dealing with some type of vitamin D deficiency, this could be directly related to a digestive issue that you're dealing with, maybe from the choices of food that you're having, along with just not getting enough sunlight, because those two things are directly related. So when it comes to vitamin D, checking your sunlight and understanding like your dietary habits should be the first places that you start. Doing some sunbathing, easily 15 to 30 minutes per day during the right time frame, that's going to help you build up your vitamin D levels. If you're dealing with some gut health issues, eating more fresh fruits and vegetables that are high in fiber and water and nutrients is going to be the first place to start when it comes down to correcting those things. If you're dealing with more in-depth gut issues, fasting is going to be the next best thing, mainly because if you're dealing with those issues there, it's time to give that digestive system a break so that it could properly cleanse itself and rejuvenate itself, which actually turns into a whole nother conversation. But when it comes down to missing anything from not consuming meat, I can tell you right now, if you have a balanced diet that's high in whole foods, you're not missing anything. Now, again, sometimes when we think about not eating meat or animal-based products, a lot of people still aren't eating enough whole foods. And that's where the vegan argument kind of comes into play at, because just because it's vegan doesn't mean that it's whole foods and it's going to give you the nutrients that it needs. So understanding what whole foods look like, eating enough of them and nourishing your body properly is going to make sure that you're not dealing with those deficiencies and things like that. So that's probably the most insight I can give you about that based off of what I have. But you're not missing anything by not eating meat, especially if you're eating enough whole foods. could you give a natural recipe for salad dressing? I'm sorry, Cassandra, I can't because that's inside of the ebook, and I've talked about that for like the last 5 days. What else we got? What are the best fruits if you are managing your A1C? The berries are going to always be the best option because they lower in the carbohydrates and they provide all the antioxidants that helps on the back end when it comes down to all those things. So I don't see any other questions there. If you guys have any other ones, feel free to drop them in the chat. But again, back to, as I'm waiting for questions, I want to talk about the high blood pressure breakdown. Again, I released it today, and this is 2 years of hard work of breaking down this information, understanding high blood pressure from A to Z, and translating it to a way that people can understand it. For those of you that's been following me and you watch my reels and my short form content, just how I break this information down in that short form content, I put it inside of the book as well. That way you can understand it and absorb it. I'm not talking in medical language. I'm not talking about taking your blood pressure and what the numbers should look like. I'm talking about hardcore strategies and tactics that you can apply right now, starting today, to start to see some results in what you're doing. We're 5 days into the fruit and salad challenge, and we're seeing blood pressure numbers that people say they haven't seen in 12 plus years. You're seeing these real-time results in this community, in this challenge. The high blood pressure breakdown has all of this information packed inside of it. So getting the high blood pressure breakdown, analyzing it, understanding your dietary habits, your lifestyle habits, and yourself as a whole will help you uncover the blood pressure challenges that you're facing with. This book talks about everything from the laws that govern life that help you understand how to properly live, the prerequisites of life, such as the aesthetics, the pleasing environments, being motivated, understanding what your body needs to function properly. It's in alignment with helping you understand all those things. That way you can empower yourself to better gain control of your blood pressure issues. And that leads me to actually just wanting to go into one important area that's there. And this is the journaling section inside of the book. And after each chapter, let's say, what chapter is this? This is the prerequisites of life chapter. After each chapter, it gives you a journaling section. That way you can reflect on the areas that you need to improve upon. Because in each chapter, we're all going to be lagging or excelling. That's it, right? Excelling. I might have said it right. I can't even get it right. But we're going to be excelling in one of those areas. So understanding that, documenting your journey and understanding where you're at in each moment, it's going to allow you to build a roadmap to continue to get better. Because sometimes we like to highlight in books and go back and reflect, but it's nothing like writing something down. Because when you write a challenge down and you write this goal down, you're more likely to come back to it and start chipping away at it and getting better. So after each chapter, it gives you a section to actually write down and break down what you learned from that, what you need to build on in that section, and understand the strategies that you need to apply to continue to move forward. And again, this goes through each and every lifestyle challenge that an individual may be facing, whether it's they're building better relationships, improving their stress levels, all of these things. That way you can actually work towards getting to the root cause of the problem. The tactics and the strategies are laid out inside of this book the same exact way you will get them from me if we sat down and did a 2-hour consultation. That way you can understand what you're dealing with, learn how to dot your I's and cross your T's, and work towards getting to the root cause of the problem. So I definitely appreciate those of you that have purchased the high blood pressure breakdown. I've poured countless hours into creating this book to help everyone understand how these problems work. It would mean a lot to me for you guys to purchase the book and support me. But most importantly, this is not just a high blood pressure book. This is a lifestyle book. If you improve your overall lifestyle, your high blood pressure will walk right out of the door. And the high blood pressure breakdown will allow you to do so. So I'm going to take the last few questions that are there. And after that, I guess I'll chime out for the night. Is it a difference between vegans and whole food? It's a very, very big difference. The best example is Coca-Cola's vegan, Oreo's vegan, salt and vinegar chips are vegan, Skittles are vegan. Whole foods means apples, oranges, grapes, and fresh greens, foods that are closest to how they are in nature. So those are two big differences, because again, everything that's vegan is not necessarily healthy for you, but everything that's a whole food is going to be in its natural form, closest to how it is in nature, and provide you with everything that you need for your body to function at its highest level. So that's one of the best things you can get from there. Next one, do you suggest the book and the ebook? You won't be able to find any of my other ebooks anywhere on any of my sites. The only thing that's available at this point is the high blood pressure breakdown physical copy, and yeah, you won't be able to find any other ebooks. So if you're looking to dive into this a lot deeper, the high blood pressure breakdown will be the best source of information. That way you can get all the tools and strategies that you need in order to get a better understanding of how to apply them to your lifestyle to get to the root cause. Does pure coconut oil help with blood pressure? Simple answer, no. Coconut oil is high in saturated fats. Saturated fats contributes to oxidative stress. Oxidative stress damages the innermost lining of your blood vessels, which is the endothelial cells. Damage to the endothelial cells causes the body to stop producing nitric oxide. The blood vessels start to constrict without the nitric oxide, which in turn causes a higher blood pressure. I hope I didn't just run too further over that one. But short answer, no. You want to stay away from any coconut oils, even if it's pure hand-pressed coconut oil. It's the saturated fats and the other issues that comes with it can cause a lot of different problems. The link to purchase the book will be live inside of the group. When you click into the group, you'll see different posts that are pinned up. You'll see the post pinned with the link for the book. And you'll be able to click the link, go from there, purchase the book, and it'll also give you the prompts and the instructions, and you'll also get an email right behind your purchase that gives you more of a layout of how all these different things work. So with that being said, I don't see any other questions. I'm not showing up tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday, but I will see you guys again on Monday, because we're releasing the information for the cleansing, the elimination confrontation. That way you guys can understand exactly what that looks like. So Monday, 7:30, I will see you guys here, and we'll get going again. But enjoy your weekend. Continue to post your pictures. Continue to document your journey, and continue to stay the path when it comes down to getting control of your blood pressure. With that being said, peace and blessings. I'll see you guys next time.